Hey guys, welcome back to Words of War. My name is Jorge Guerra.
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
And today we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Batista? Yeah, Dave Batista, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper.
We're a little late.
Yeah, just a little.
Came out last week, but we had some computer problems, so we just figured we'd do it now again. But for those of you that haven't seen it, or that know little about it, just going off the trailer, it's a kind of a space romp, I guess. If you look at the weird lineup of characters that they have, a muscular guy with tattoos all over his body. You got Zoe Saldana is a green hot chick. Chris Pratt, some weird kind of Han Solo-ish type thing, and a small raccoon with a pet plant that's actually voiced by Bradley Cooper, the raccoon, and Vin Diesel doing Groot, which is the big guy's name. So I'm just gonna assume you know what this movie's about, or at least where it comes from. It's definitely part of the Marvel universe. A great addition to it, I think. For many people, even Marvel fans, maybe you didn't know the characters very well. I know I didn't. I don't think I ever read a Guardians of the Galaxy comic book at all. Didn't know any of the characters, so I did grow up on Marvel comics and stuff. I was I guess maybe I wasn't that far into them, which is understandable. But pretty much the movie itself is just it's got a little bit of a 80s feeling to it all the way through it. That carries through with the story actually, so it makes sense. There's a kid on Earth in the 80s gets abducted by aliens, and then we kind of just wake up with him 26 years later. And he's some sort of like he sells junk and kind of like I said, a little bit of a
space pillager kind of.
Pillager, there you go, like a little Han Solo-ish type, wannabe actually, and so he gets caught for stealing this one item that he's trying to get to, like this higher bidder, by betraying his people or his pillager friends. And the whole story just kind of goes off of that. If you know the Marvel background, as far as the movies like Thor and the Avengers and everything, this starts fitting right in after that, because you find out the item is actually something that Thanos is after, and he's got some guy named Ronan, which I think was in the comic books as well, going after the item for him. So it's just through that he finds these other companions, and they all kind of get together and band together to bring Ronan down and try and keep that item away from Thanos. So go watch the movie. It's very good. What did you think about it?
I thought that as well. But honestly, like I really like this movie. I didn't think. I love Marvel. They're doing it the right way, honestly, and Avengers was definitely the peak of that. And I thought, like, man, it's gonna be really hard to get there again. And the fact that they've done that yet again, and not even with another Avengers, is just blows me out of the water. They did a completely good job in this. Like, they've transcended. This is how you make a video game movie, or I'm sorry, this is how you make a comic movie, to just this is how you make a good movie. Like, they've really gone, they've broken out of that, just like, we're raising the bar for comic book movies. It's beyond that. They're making great movies nowadays. It was very, very, like, their whole pitching, I mean, their posters, all that stuff was very 80s nostalgia kind of thing, and even the music in it, it's all very, of course that's kind of in right now, but it was all fitting. We're talking about it, and it fit very well. It was really cool because it definitely did have that kind of like old 80s, Star Wars kind of like Flight of the Navigator and the Last Starfighter. Have you ever seen those movies from the 80s? Like, it was super cool.
And and I don't want to interrupt you completely, but I did want to add, one of the differences from like most contemporary like space films or whatever, he was talking about Star Wars. It is kind of Star Wars-ish also, but this has that 80s feel, for those of you guys that were on the 80s, of fun. Like, it's not a funny movie, but it's not all serious like space action either. It's got a very good balance of just good story, great character development,
Yeah.
and enough humor in it that you can't pinpoint a time when you're not having fun watching it.
Yeah, it definitely was like it was totally a roller coaster ride. It took you on an adventure, and it's like, and there's like movies like that from when I was little. We were little, like The Explorers. If anybody has ever seen that, and that was one of those movies. It brought that little inner kid in me going, oh, that's so cool. And it's like, and it created really cool characters. Vin Diesel, I will give him tip of the hat, because all he had was I am Groot, and that character. I mean, the animation in it was amazing. The CG for Bradley Cooper's characters, which was Rocket Raccoon, was amazing. I had tip of the hat to Bradley Cooper too, because his voiceover stuff for this was extremely good. If you didn't know it was him, like, you'd have a hard time figuring out that it was him, because he totally like did a character with his voice. It was super cool. The arc was great. Bringing in Thanos, they explained the Infinity Stones, so it's. If you're still lost a little bit on, as far as if you don't read comic books, you're still lost a little Infinity Stones, they kind of explain a little bit more in this one. But yeah, it was just a fun ride. It was completely done well. I'm totally going to go pick this up, and I will definitely try to at least watch it one more time in the theaters, because it was good. We saw it in 3D. I thought it added pretty much a bit. I think you were saying it didn't add too much.
Yeah,
but
I think the 3D thing is great, for a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. And I was expecting more from the 3D in this film, because you've got a lot of space, like backgrounds, and even like just while you're watching the movie, there's lots of really nice landscapes and areas where I think the 3D could have brought them out even more. I've seen it done in other films, and I don't know why. I just didn't really get that from this film, So I would say that if you didn't watch it in 3D, you're not missing a single thing.
Yeah.
If you watch it in 3D, you might, every now and then there are real cool things. It adds a little bit more, but you don't have to see it in.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. But I do think if you have a chance to do it, it adds a little bit more to it. So I enjoyed it. Karen Gillan as a bad guy, so hot, even if she's bald. But yeah, even the bad guys were really done well in this. Like, the guy who played Ronan is the same guy that plays Legolas's dad in Lord of the Rings. That dude did extremely well in this too. He didn't have like the biggest lines in the world, but his delivery was spot on as a bad guy.
Like, I thought his character was a little two-dimensional compared to everybody else, because they did such great character development with almost everyone else, including like a guard, that's played by Ryan. C. Riley.
Ryan.
John C. Riley.
John C. Riley. There we go.
So
he's
cool anyways, But I mean, you got more character development really from him than from the Ronan character, and there was probably a lot more room to do it in.
Yeah.
Although I say this now as far as like nitpicking the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't detract from anything. If anything, it kind of gave it more of that '80s feel, because when we grew up watching like Transformers and all that stuff, what was the line at the end? Megatron, the bad guy, and all those cartoons, retreat, and they leave. It was the same fucking thing every single time, and you were happy with it. That's exactly what happened here. The guy that played Ronan did a really good job, but essentially in the script he was kind of that kind of bad guy, the one that was, I'm killing everything, I'm going to destroy everyone, and at the end it's kind of like he gets his butt kicked.
So good.
He gets his butt kicked, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
But exactly. That's what made it really good.
Yeah, but and definitely, like, as you can tell, I'm a little excited about this one, because I really did enjoy it a lot. But yeah, definitely go watch it. I mean, let us know what y'all thought about it. Stay, if you're a Marvel fan, stay to the credits. Stay after the little part during the credits. There's something else at the end of the credits. I haven't looked it up yet. I'm sure there's a bunch of Easter eggs in this stuff. So, I know there was a couple other things that I saw were pretty cool. But yeah, let us know what you thought. Let us know what Easter eggs you saw, if you saw any.
What'd you rate it?
Rates. My bad. What's it called? I'm gonna give it a 10, because I think it was just as good as Avengers, and I could seriously see myself watching this movie various times. And I find myself having to nitpick to try to find things that are wrong with this movie. What did you give it?
I'm very excited about the movie as well. I really, really liked it. I definitely will go watch it again. Maybe not in 3D, save a little bit of money, but watch it again. So that's definitely good. I think it's a great installment in the next phase of the Marvel movies. It starts explaining all the things that will be coming as far as Thanos and the Avengers and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was amazing that they were able to get that same feeling that they got with the Avengers as far as the team goes without the previous movies. Most people going into this don't know any of these characters, but they build this team so well and they build the characters so well that you feel like you already know them and you know them very well.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, I did enjoy it a lot, but I don't think it's the best movie ever in the world. It's just, you have to leave some room. So people might not like me for this, but I gave Avengers, I think, a 9. I think this is a solid 9 as well. I can't give it a 10 because I just know there's better films out there. There will be some better films out there. I can't think of any right now, but there will be, and so I got to leave that 10 spot for somebody else. But this is a very high 9. Go watch it if you have a chance, and go watch it again if you already saw it. Probably you'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
there's so much stuff in the movie.
Let us know what you thought. I mean, we're this excited. Maybe you hated it.
I'm sorry we're late. Oh man,
yeah, sorry.
Wish we could have told you all this like 3 days ago. Y'all probably already know all this stuff.
Yeah. But let us know again. My name is Jorge Guerra.
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
And y'all have a great one. Bye.